next door. She told me she had it when you give it to me. So we're coming up on 12:48 when the first officer passes my building. There he went. I was downstairs. Alright, so that was 12:48 when the first officer passed, and I'm just downstairs getting my stuff out, okay? And then again at 12:53, well, there's a white Ford truck that passes several times, but we're not sure what's up with it. So at 12:52, a white Ford truck passes. Slow down, son. Hit it play, yeah. Alright, so 12:52 coming up, and you're going to see a white Ford truck come past us. See, I'm in the basement, and there goes him making that right-handed turn, okay? And then there goes the officer back the other way. All right, go back, son. Go back and back that up so they can see it. Hit reverse. Yep. So there goes the truck, and then here comes a police officer. Don't speed it up. All right, there you go. All right, hit play. So you can see this is the first officer coming by right here. That went by earlier, it seems. All right. So go ahead and hit play. Come back by, okay? I was in the basement. 12:54, I think you're going to see this white Ford truck come back by. Coming from up there, yep. So they must have went down and made the left and went over into Hugs and they made the circle. So I don't know if there was anybody. Alright, so there the white truck goes again. Okay. Alright, and hit play. Now 12:56, I guess, 12:57. It says two cops come by. Right. Alright, so yep. So now the two cops are gonna come back by.
Come out flying.
Yep, they see me outside this time. See, I'm not in the basement, I'm up there. So there they went. Right? No, that wasn't in
No,
yet.
they're coming now.
They're coming now. So I'm standing up there at the truck when they come by this time. You can see that I'm not in the basement. I'm no longer here. Now I'm standing up here behind the back of the truck, which is unfortunately out of sight. So here they come and get ready to go by me. All right, slow it down. There's one.
There's one.
And there's two. So they see me standing at the truck, and I seen them, and they slowed down and then went on into Hucks down there. All right. So I went ahead and stood around for a second and loaded up a couple more coolers, and I come back down to the basement. Alright, so I should be back in the basement at about 12:58, almost 12:59. I'm back in the basement. No, those guys just went down to Hugs. Alright, coming up right here. So I'm back in the basement now. That's at 12:58, 59, and then 12:59, 20 seconds later, here comes the first officer back. Okay? He stops past my truck out of sight, then he gets out of his vehicle. You'll see his flashlight coming around. There's the next cop coming past. Good. Let's let it go. Because he's about to walk around right now. So that guy stopped and got out, see? That one just went by there. And you'll see his flashlight around here in a minute. He's searching on the other side of my truck.
There it is.
Yep. There he comes searching on the side of my truck right there. Okay? So there's the first officer right there. Now they just let by me. They see me out there, they wait till I went downstairs, and they come right back 20 seconds later, and this guy's searching my truck, right? So he should have already read my plates and should know who I am. They already know who that truck belongs to anyway. It's not like I'm hiding out here. Everybody knows who I am. Oh. So you'll see him search all the way around the front of my truck, and he'll come around the front of my truck, and his other partner's gonna pull up on the scene here in a minute. Just let it go normal time, so no sense in rushing it. I want everybody to see what I'm doing. I'm doing what I need to be doing, putting my stuff away. I got my seafood. I don't have any drugs of any kind. I'm not a drug dealer. I don't do drugs.
I still think it's crazy people think that.
I know. I mean, it's insane, but what can you do? So here comes the officer right in front of my truck, just like I said, looking around, looking around. I'm going to find the other footage later because I'm sure he's already searched the back of my truck. So he's standing here now. Here comes the other officer. He's going to pull up, slow down, and turn into the parking lot across the way there. He's going to make that little right there and pull up into a little parking lot over across the street. And his buddy's looking right now down the side of the building to see where I'm at. Okay, his buddy went out of sight right over here on this side. That's between the two buildings, where I'm going down between the two buildings because I can't go over here anymore because the dude put a fence up so I couldn't get no deliveries. So now I take my deliveries in over here in between the two buildings because the lady lets me over there. She's really nice to me. Alright, so that guy's about to be coming up here any second now. I think it's at like 13:03, which is coming up in about 15 seconds. You'll see this other guy. So like I said, right now, this first guy is still over here watching me to see where I'm at. So he knows I'm in the basement. All these lights are on. I have a light over here underneath that so that, you know, you can really see it at nighttime really, really good. I'm going to take some pictures of that later too to send. Alright, so here it comes back. And here's the first officer, or the second officer coming up now. He's checking this side of my truck. Checked in the back, smiling, laughing, having a good time. Comes up to my door, checks it with his left hand, tries to wiggle it a little bit. And I can tell you right now, that door's not in there very good. My uncle just barely got it in there, so it don't take much to pull it open. So he tells his buddy, look man, the door's open. Right? He goes to go in, right? So here he's coming in the door. He's going to come in right over here where you see this light at. Okay, so his partner's still outside the door. You can see his partner here saying, no, don't do it, don't do it. And he looked around the building again to see where I was at to make sure that he wasn't going to get caught, and then he entered the building. And you can see this guy came into my building with his gun drawn and his light shining. Okay, look. Now, they never said a word about anything they were doing. They were extremely quiet. They walked very, very quiet. I'm still right over here. See, guys, I'm down here putting seafood away. I don't even know they're there, okay? So now they're walking past the bar and they're coming to the kitchen. And they're going to get stacked in this corner over here where there's a door to exit and there's a door to go down to the basement. Of course, they go look around the kitchen a little bit, see what's going on in there. Poke around a little bit. Alright. So you can see they're both moving into the kitchen. There's the one guy looking around, you know. And then they go on to the back. And now you'll see me over here. I'm going to raise my head up any second because I hear the door screech open. They never even told me they were there, and they never announced themselves. And I looked straight up and I said, who the F is in my building? You'll see my head jerk up right there. And they said, it's the police. And I said, well, get the hell out of my damn building. And then I just stood there. See, I'm just standing there waiting to see if they're going to leave. Okay? So some time goes by here because I'm waiting to see if they're going to leave, and I'm going to go back to work. So far, you know, about 10 or 12 seconds went by, and I'm like, all right, well, you know, they left. So I go back to work. I'm cleaning out this freezer, okay? And right now I'm just nervous as hell. My heart's beating and pumping, and I'm probably cussing up a storm. I know I am. And I'm just trying to get back focused, because it's been such a, I've been driving all the way from down there to get the seafood back up here fresh, so everybody can have a really good product to eat. So I'm so proud of that, And it's terrible that they disgrace me the way they do. As good as I feed them, but it is what it is. And so now you can see that they yelled down to me. They say, "Come identify yourself." I was like, "What? I told you to get out of my building." Well, they said, "No, you got to come identify yourself." So I run into my office where I'm at right now to look at these cameras, and then I run back out because I can't see them, because they're stacked in the corner over here where there's no camera angle. So now I come back over here and they're yelling at me to come out and identify myself, So I'm scared to death. I don't know what to do. I didn't have any, my pistol wasn't here. I wasn't in the office. That's what I was going to get, was my pistol, so I at least have something to protect myself with. And they stood at the top of the stairs and demanded until I come to the stairs. And when I come to the stairs, they was both had their pistols drawn and stacked on the stairs, pointed downward, at me. And I was pretty mad, but these guys didn't seem to think it was no big deal. They walked out kind of laughing. Well, at least the one did. The other one was mad. He was mad at his partner. It seems to me he was mad at his partner, saying, "Hey, And so you can see him storm off, and this guy here is like, "Oh, blah, 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 blah." So, they came in my building illegally. They held me at gunpoint, just like I told you they did. All right, and now it doesn't end there, because they continue to harass me past this. Okay, so they get in their cars now, and they know who I am. Like I said, they could have run my plates. They could have done anything. They would have known that was me. They know that's my truck. They know who I am. That one officer's been to my place and eat before, the bigger one. I don't know his name. So, alright, so at 13:07, the officers finally pull out, which is what you're seeing right now, as the officers are leaving. They go, yeah, they turn it around. He's leaving out of the parking lot. You're going to see them all turn. They're going to turn left turn left and go out of there, and they're all going to go down to the hooks, to both of them. All right. All right. So there he's going down to the hooks. So they go down there. Now it's 13:07, right? Say they sit down there for 3 minutes, speed it up 3 minutes, because at 13:10 they come back and they make a left at where the Caldwell Bank is at.
And they went right there, 2 of them.
Yeah, and so there they went again, and then 13:16 you'll see them. They'll come back around. I'm outside actually the next time they come by. I was going to start my truck so I could leave, and then I seen those guys, so I kind of waited to see what they were going to be doing. So the officers pass again at 13:16, and then again at 13:34, and then I leave, and then the next officer passes. They both pass again at 13:45, and then I don't see any more the rest of the night. So I really need somebody to help us with this. I don't know what else I could say. This has been miserable for us. I'm a retired Army veteran. I was a combat medic for 20 years, and I've helped a lot of people in my life, and I still want to continue doing that. And when I started on this journey, it was to raise awareness for veterans and things they go through. 25 of my buddies die a day. And about the only awareness we get really is a card that says, "Hey, if you're going to think about killing yourself, then you call us, and we'll talk you out of it." That's great, but that ain't always something that anyway, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. I just don't understand why I can't be here. Why can't I do what I'm doing? What am I hurting? What have I done to anybody? Haven't I earned the opportunity to be here? I mean, I feel like I've earned it. And I feel like I went back and paid for it. I bought the permits. I went through all the BS. I've done everything they told me to do. I've absolutely every single thing that they told me to do, I done without fail. And I'm still being treated like this, like I'm some big joke, like I'm nothing. And they wonder why we hurt ourselves. Well, I'm raising awareness right now. This is the type of stuff that veterans cannot stand. All veterans, we did not fight for this. This is not, absolutely 100% not what our families gave up so much for everybody else to have. To be treated like this, it's just, I can't even, like, if I didn't have the video and somebody was telling me the story, I probably wouldn't believe it. And a lot of folks here haven't believed me. A lot of folks only come over here because they feel sorry for me, because they think I'm messed up in the head from the war that I was in. You know, and honestly, I am a little bit. You know, I've got PTSD, anxiety. You know, and this stuff has made it extremely, extremely worse. You know, it's one of the worst years of my life this past winter. You know, the anxiety and the depression that I already have with the migraines and, you know, the VA cutting out my money and not taking care of me on my medical stuff like they're supposed to. You know, which is kind of the reason I went back to trying to do something on my own so that I wouldn't have to bother with those guys. You know, I can't help any of that stuff, you know. I mean, I'm not a bad guy. I get up every day and try to help somebody. I go and bring bread to people, you know, or get them a meal or just about anything. I go out of my way for pretty much anybody. I don't care who it is, I always do.